Can you believe this? The world's #1 fasting expert recently claimed that humans can go without water for up to 40 days and still stay healthy. Sounds like a miracle, right? But the truth is, if you try that, you won't live long enough to see any benefits. Your life could be in serious danger. Hello, and welcome to Health US 24H, where we break down the science, expose extreme claims, and show you what is real and what is deadly. Before we dive in, please subscribe to our channel by clicking the button below. This will help us spread our message of health warning to more people around the world. Now let's begin. Let's be clear. The human body cannot survive without water for more than 3 to 7 days. Extended dehydration thickens the blood, puts extreme stress on the heart, stops the kidneys from filtering toxins, and damages the brain. Losing 10% of your body water can cause confusion and seizures. Losing 15–20% is almost certainly fatal, and a spike in body temperature can cause heat stroke and multi-organ failure. Some people claim that 40 days without water is safe, but this is not only wrong, it's extremely dangerous. Imagine if someone actually tried this. The outcome would be death. Would you risk your life for a so-called miracle? Many people also claim that fasting for weeks at home without medical supervision is beneficial. Again, this is extremely dangerous. You could face low blood pressure, electrolyte imbalances, kidney failure, and heart failure. Eating incorrectly after a long fast can lead to Refeeding Syndrome, causing low phosphate, low potassium, swelling, heart failure, and even death. These promises may sound impressive, but the truth is they are scientifically unfounded and highly risky. Some even claim that prolonged fasting can cure cancer, reverse chronic disease, boost BDNF, trigger autophagy, and detoxify the body. The truth is that autophagy, ketone production, and BDNF increase can happen during fasting, but they do not guarantee a cure for Alzheimer's or cancer. Detoxing heavy metals is theoretical, not proven in humans, and sometimes temporarily increases blood toxins. A few cases of improvement cannot prove effectiveness for everyone. Moving from biological mechanisms to treatment claims without evidence is extremely dangerous. However, to be fair, some aspects of fasting are science-backed. Intermittent fasting for 12 to 16 hours a day helps control weight, blood sugar, and heart health. Short-term water-only fasting under medical supervision, 1 to 7 days with electrolyte monitoring, can improve blood pressure, reduce visceral fat, and trigger autophagy. Fasting can also help reset taste, reduce cravings for processed foods, and encourage healthier eating habits. Safe, supervised fasting is scientific and beneficial, but extreme or unsupervised fasting can be deadly. Think logically. If 40 days without water were safe, why do all medical textbooks and research say humans only survive 3 to 7 days without water? If unsupervised prolonged fasting were beneficial, why do hospitals monitor every detail? Electrolytes, heart rate, blood pressure during extended fasts? The answer is clear. Extreme claims are false, dangerous, and unscientific. Would you risk your life just because someone said it's safe? So, who is this crazy fasting doctor and how did he gain his popularity? He has published many articles and papers related to fasting and longevity. One of his most famous papers is called Fasting, Refeeding, and the Origins of Cancer. In this paper, he shares that during World War II, Dutch citizens went through a famine which lasted for over a year. During this time, there was a pregnant woman who survived the famine and gave birth to a baby boy. But, unfortunately, both the mother and the child developed cancer. So that led to this doctor's line of research. In his paper, he talks about how we need to stabilize blood sugar levels and how frequent eating leads to insulin spikes and makes cells resistant to insulin. All of this is true. But then he goes on to share a theory about how frequent eating causes epigenetic changes, leading to altered gene expression, which then leads to the development of cancer. And that's where I start to disagree with this doctor. There's no clear link between frequent eating and cancer. We do know that obesity increases the risk of cancer, but that's due to an unhealthy diet and lack of physical activity, not frequent eating. He claims that people who eat 5 times a day have higher risks of developing certain cancers. This isn't backed by any scientific data. Most of the studies he cites don't actually support his claims. For example, he references a study about mice, But mice don't eat the same way humans do, and their guts have different bacteria, so we can't apply these results to humans. He also references a study that shows a correlation between cancer rates and diabetes, but correlation does not equal causation. Just because some people with diabetes develop cancer doesn't mean that diabetes causes cancer. He goes on to talk about how eating too frequently makes cells unable to use glucose, so they switch to using ketones for energy. This isn't true. Cells don't become unable to use glucose. Insulin resistance makes it harder for cells to use glucose, but they don't become unable to use it. He then goes on to recommend fasting for up to 40 days as a way to cure diseases like cancer. This is absolutely insane. Fasting for longer than 7 days is dangerous and can be fatal. It can cause low blood pressure, electrolyte imbalances, kidney failure, and heart failure. If someone tries to fast for 40 days, they won't live long enough to see any benefits. Their life could be in serious danger. The biggest problem with this doctor's advice is that he targets vulnerable people. People with cancer are already scared and desperate. They will try anything to fight their disease. And this doctor takes advantage of that. He preys on their fears and gives them false hope. He also makes grand claims about curing cancer, but he doesn't back them up with evidence. He says that fasting can help cure cancer, but he doesn't tell them that there are clinical trials testing fasting as a cancer treatment. He makes it sound like fasting is a miracle cure, but it's not. There is no miracle cure for cancer. If you or someone you know is facing cancer, please seek out evidence-based treatments. Talk to a doctor about clinical trials and other treatments that have been shown to work. Don't fall for false hope and dangerous advice. This brings us to another concern. This doctor doesn't seem to care about the consequences of his actions. He doesn't seem to care that people might take his advice and harm themselves. He's not sorry for the people who've lost their lives trying to follow his advice. He seems to think that it's worth it if it helps even one person, but it's not worth it if it costs someone their life. We also want to call out other doctors who share similar beliefs. Dr. Jason Fung is one of those doctors. He's a Canadian nephrologist and author of several books on fasting. Dr. Fung is also a fan of this fasting doctor. He's shared several of this doctor's videos on his social media accounts, and he's praised this doctor's work. This is concerning because Dr. Fung is a respected voice in the medical community. His followers trust him and look to him for guidance. When he shares videos like this, he's putting his followers at risk. We urge Dr. Fung and other doctors to be more responsible with the information they share. We understand that not all doctors are familiar with the latest research on fasting, and we encourage them to learn more about the potential dangers of prolonged fasting. We also urge them to be more selective about the information they share with their followers. Only share evidence-based information and be transparent about the risks of fasting. Finally, we want to send our deepest condolences to the families and friends of those who have died following this doctor's advice. Our hearts go out to you during this difficult time. We hope that you can find peace and comfort in the support of loved ones and the community. We are committed to protecting the health and well-being of our community. We will continue to speak out against dangerous and misleading information, and we will continue to share evidence-based health information. We encourage everyone to be critical of the information they see online and to consult with a trusted healthcare professional before making any major health decisions. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel by clicking the button below. Stay healthy.